I've decided to make a video blog about my transition ahead of my appointment at Charing Cross on Thursday the 21st of May. Well, initially came out when I was 13, well, fully came out as wanting to be a guy. Didn't know what the word transgender was, didn't know there was a medical term for it, just knew that after puberty I was definitely in the wrong body. I'd expressed the feelings since about 4, but I definitely knew at 13. A few of my close mates turned around and said, "Don't be silly, that's wrong, it's disgusting, and that you shouldn't do that, it'll just cause the bullying to get worse." So I didn't go ahead, I didn't push it. My family weren't too accepting of anything other than white, cis, straight supremacy. So I shut down. When I was 17, I moved to an all-girls school, a sixth form. Well, I was 16 when I moved there, and that really hit home that I definitely was in the wrong body. Around that time I started talking to a counsellor online because I was having a really rough time with depression and other issues because of not being able to be who I was, and he told me there was an actual medical term for it, that I could actually seek medical treatment, that I wasn't alone, which I thought I was. I came out to my family, and my mum basically said that I was just doing it to fit in with an online society, and I backed down again, knowing that I could be myself when I left for university later that year. And when I turned 18, I went to my family GP, who advised me that it was only a few months until I moved to uni, and by the time he put the referral into the local mental health team, as was the pathway back then, that I'd have left for university and to get referred when I went up there. First day I signed up to the University of York Health Clinic and asked for a referral on my first appointment, and they promised to do it. It was March, I hadn't heard anything, so I chased it up with the University Health Clinic, and I found out that I hadn't even wrote on my notes that I was trans. And I walked away from that appointment very disheartened. I was told that as I was leaving again in May, June, that I'd have to leave it till October. That time it was made sure that I was referred. Unfortunately, due to mental health and other reasons, I had to take a gap year from uni partway through, and by the time I received the letter for a mental health appointment, I was working in Birmingham in McDonald's, so I couldn't attend. In July 2012 I moved to Cardiff and signed up with Catay's surgery. I had an appointment with a GP and asked to be referred to the local CMHT for both a mental health assessment as well as getting referred on for gender dysphoria. I went to see them and I was sent to 2 nurses initially, who said they suspected PTSD, depression, anxiety and maybe a personality disorder, and referred me on to the SHO. She gave me a book to read and discharged me despite saying that she thought I had gender identity disorder. Unfortunately, my mental health deteriorated and I ended up seeing a psychiatrist who agreed that I had gender identity disorder, but said I had to be 3 months stable before he would refer me, and that was in November 2011. Over that time I was in a very abusive relationship, a controlling one, and I ended up being put in a psychiatric hospital after going for a walk because my partner called the police each time I left the house. After being discharged in the February, of 2013, I was told if I could make it 3 months into May, they would refer me. They took all my bloods and I had to go to several different appointments. I agreed to do that. I went to a PTSD clinic assessment and other support sessions with Mind and that, and a week before I went back to see him to get my referral sent off, I was a victim of a transphobic attack. The police were involved, and she told me that due to it may be going to court and waiting on the CPS decision, she didn't think it was fair to send me off to London and have the added stress of that on top of a police case. Well, I was left without any mental health support due to the rules that if I talked to the mental health team, they would also be allowed to disclose my notes in court and the prosecution would be allowed to use them, which I didn't want, so I was left with no one to talk to. The attack happened in my house, so I was effectively homeless. I lived on the streets, but each time I was seen in emotional distress, they'd take me back to the place I was attacked in. So I ended up back in hospital in the July after a complete breakdown. I stayed there until the November, as I was declared homeless by the council and my tenancy was declared as unfit for living, and the hospital refused to put me through the homeless shelters as they thought it would just bounce me back into hospital. I was awarded a council flat in the November, which I'm still in, and I was told on discharge that I'd be spoke to within a couple of weeks and to keep myself above water for 3 months and they'd refer me. I lasted 3 months with no support, and I saw a psychiatrist who agreed to send my referral off and discharge me from all services. I waited until November of 2014 when I hadn't heard anything at all. I hadn't even had confirmation that the referral had gone through, as it has to go through a funding process. So I got a nurse to chase it up for me, and I found out that Charing Cross had received my referral at the start of May 2014, and I could expect a letter the start of May 2015 with a welcome pack. At that point, I decided to save and go private, as I'd heard that the welcome pack meant that there'd be a couple more months at least before the first appointment, and I just went to get on hormones. On the 7th of May this year, I received a letter with my welcome pack, and I filled it in straight away, and I put it in the post on the Monday once I collected my deed polls and other paperwork needed. And on the Thursday, the 14th, I got a phone call off Charing Cross offering me an appointment on the 21st with Dr. Tony Kemp, which is amazing. But I'm very nervous about, after all this time, that they're going to stop me transitioning due to my childhood, which has been a concern of most psychs I've seen. So yeah, I'll make another video after I've been to the first appointment about how that went.